The Nephilim are trending right now. TikTok, Tucker Carlson, millions of people all over the world asking the same question. Who are these things from Gen 6? But here's the problem. Most of what's going viral is either sensationalized garbage or watered down Sunday school material. So today, we're doing neither. We're going to open up the Hebrew and read exactly what the text says. And we're going to go to places that most churches won't take you. This is The Other Cheek. The sons of God saw that the daughters of man were attractive, and they took as their wives any they chose. The Nephilim were on the earth in those days, and also afterward, when the sons of God came into the daughters of man, and they bore children to them. These were the mighty men who were of old, the men of renown. Sons of God, daughters of men, Nephilim, giants, heroes of old. What is this? Who are they? And why did God respond by flooding the entire earth? Today we're going deep because this connects the Book of Enoch to fallen angels, to Goliath, to demons, to Jesus' warnings about the end time, and to some stuff going viral right now that we need to talk about. Let's go. Before we get into theories, let me show you something in the Hebrew, because 3 words in this passage change everything when you understand what they actually mean. 3 Hebrew words. Bene Elohim, Nephilim, gibborim. Bene Elohim, sons of God. Now here's what most people don't know. If you search that exact phrase in the Old Testament, you find it in Job chapter 1, chapter 2, and 38. And in every case, it's describing angelic beings standing before God's throne. Job 38:7. The bene Elohim shouted for joy at creation. These aren't people. They're spiritual beings. Nephilim, from the Hebrew meaning to fall, the fallen ones. And this word only appears in the Bible twice, once in Genesis and once in Numbers. Yet it's generated over 2,000 years of debate. And then there's gibborim, mighty warriors, heroes, champions, not just big people. These are legendary dominant beings that the ancient world remembered as heroes of old. The same word gets used for Nimrod in Genesis 10. And here's what sealed it for me. When Jewish scholars translated the Old Testament around 250 BC, the Septuagint, they translated it as angels of God. The translators closest to the Hebrews understood it as angels. So why does this matter? Because if the sons of God are angels, then the Genesis 6 story is not some weird story at the beginning of the Bible. It's telling you that the spiritual world is real, that they have power and agency, but that God holds them accountable when they cross the line. You're not reading a fairy tale. You're reading a war report. Now, there are 3 main theories on who the sons of God are, and I'm going to cover all 3 and let you decide. Theory 1, the Sethite view. And this is what most churches still teach today. The sons of God are the righteous descendants of Seth. The daughters of men are the descendants of Cain. It's just intermarriage between godly and ungodly people. Here's the problem. Why would intermarriage between godly and ungodly people produce giants? And the phrase bene Elohim never means godly humans anywhere else in the Old Testament. Not once. And this view didn't even appear until Augustine in the 4th century. Before that, for hundreds of years, people read this as angels. Theory 2, the royalty view. The sons of God are just powerful kings claiming divine status. Same problem. How does that produce giants? And it doesn't match the Hebrew. Theory 3, the supernatural view. And this is the oldest view, held by virtually all Jewish interpreters before Christ. Josephus, Philo, the Septuagint translators, and the early church fathers, Justin Martyr, Irenaeus, Clement of Alexandria, and Tertullian. The sons of God are angelic beings, spiritual entities who violated their proper domain, took human women, and produced hybrid offspring called Nephilim. Now I know what you're thinking, but Jesus said angels don't marry. Matthew 22. Yes, Jesus said angels don't marry in heaven. The Genesis 6 left heaven. Jude verse 6. Angels who did not keep their proper domain but left their own abode. Jesus is describing the norm. These angels violated the norm. That's the whole point. Now let me show you something that changed the whole debate. In 2010, a researcher named Amar Anus, working out of the Helsinki Assyrian Text Project, published a paper that Michael Heiser says makes every non-supernatural reading of Genesis 6 obsolete. Heiser called it a death blow to any non-supernatural interpretation. His words, not mine. Here's what Anus found. The ancient Babylonians had beings called the Apkallu, divine beings that came down from the heavens before the flood and taught humanity forbidden knowledge, metalworking, astrology, sorcery. Sound familiar? Same beings, same story, same forbidden teaching, same hybrid offspring, different culture, different continent, different language. The Babylonians remembered them too. They just called them by a different name. Now here's what gets me. I don't think this weakens the Bible. I think it strengthens it. Because if this event only appeared in Genesis, you could call it mythology. But when the Babylonians, the Greeks, the Egyptians, and dozens of other cultures remember the same event, that's not mythology. That's a shared memory that something actually happened. And God was there first. Before Babylon named the Apkallu, before Greece called them Titans, God was recording the truth in Genesis. That tells you something about the God you serve. If you watched my Missing Books of the Bible video, then you know about 1st Enoch, and that it's not scripture, but it is essential to understanding Genesis 6. And Jude quotes it directly. So let's look what it says. 200 angels, called watchers, descended to earth on Mount Hermon. And here's something that stopped me cold. The name Hermon comes from the Hebrew word cherem, meaning devoted to destruction. The mountain where the angels fell has destruction built into its name. The leader was Semjaza. He organized the 200 and made them swear an oath. They took human women as wives and produced the Nephilim, giants of enormous size who consumed everything, turned to violence, and devoured mankind. That's 1st Enoch chapter 7. And another watcher, Azazel, taught humankind metalworking, weapons of war, cosmetics, sorcery, and astrology. Now, if you watch the Scapegoat video, that name should ring a bell. The Scapegoat ritual in Leviticus, where the goat is sent to Azazel in the wilderness, that's connected to this same fallen angel. It connects.